enshrined into the Ring of Honor here at Joe Robbie Stadium. Dwight Stevenson, one of the great centers ever to play this game, candidate for the Hall of Fame, of course. And I know, Dan, what you feel about this man. We lost him right here in a Monday night game, and it just broke us up.
Yeah, it's one of the things that really upsets me is that we had to be here the night that he had his surgery, you know, that he got the knee that required the surgery. And Dwight Stevenson did things at center that I just hadn't seen done before. He's the quickest center, and he was, to an offense, he brought you something that is a great gift to an offense, and that is a center who could block the nose tackle all by himself. He removed the double team from the offense as far as a guard and a center having to double team the nose tackle. What a big plus that is. Congratulations, Dwight, you deserve it.
Here we go, the second half. Good first half in a very key game. In the AFC, the game is tied at 14. Kansas City will get the football. That's John Vaughn. Back to receive, Pete Stoyanovich to put it in the air. And the third quarter is underway. Vaughn from the 9-yard line. It's taken down at the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Sean Hill. Well, the score, dead even. And the numbers very reflective of that, with each team engineering two very long and time-consuming drives in that first half.
I know you just touched on it, Al, but this is so important as you devote these teams. Time of possession very close. Numbers so even. The one turnover by Kansas City that's so important for both these teams.
That turnover took them out of field goal range. Certainly the possibility of a field goal that would have given them the lead by 3. He's run over the air. He swings it out into the flat to Marcus Allen. Good spin move on Cox. And he's finally tackled up at the 31-yard line by Aubrey Beavers.
34 years old. And that was one of you. There's a lot of 21-year-old backs couldn't master that move. Never have. Out in the flat. Again, this is such a part of this offense they've installed here at Kansas City. High percentage completion. Spin to the inside. Brian Cox flat missing.
So fluid when he moves. So graceful. Almost looks effortless when you know it's not.
Second down 4. Marcus fights his way about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. He may be 34, but he loves to point out. He said, you know, I'm really 31. The way the Raiders used me over those last 5 years, that was worth only 2.
It's always guys in their advancing years talking about, I'm really not as old as I seem. But it's a valid point, especially in a running back. You know, when you look at his legs and you look at the pounding the guy takes over the years, there might be some truth to that.
He was a very heady runner, too. You saw him a moment ago, but when he knew it was over, he was down on the ground.
Tight formation, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. And Bono with the play fake, and then has to swing it underneath an incomplete intended for Donnell Bennett. Brian Cox covering, 4th down, and the Chiefs forced to kick.
One of the reasons they moved Brian Cox into the middle linebacking position, if you look at Don Shula once again on his golf cart, so he could move to both sides of the field. Now, Cox is a fine linebacker, but when they moved him to the inside into this position, they took away a lot of his capabilities of rushing the passer. He doesn't rush the passer well from there. He gets into this kind of a play, but in 92 and 93, this guy had 19 sacks. He's had 2 this year.
Aguiar to kick, McDuffie back to get it. 43-yard punt. Oh, Jay McDuffie brings it back to the 39-yard line. Tackled there by Monty Grau. 18-yard return, 13-17 left in the third. Still tied at 14. All right, let's get an update from the field and Lynn Swan. Lynn?
Well, Al, at halftime, both teams felt offensively they were in good shape. It's a defense they wanted to make some changes. Marty Schottenheimer believes if he can take his defense, make them get into second and long situations, they'll come out on top in this ball game. And both Joe Green and Don Shula said, defensively, we're in the right positions. We've eliminated our mistakes we made earlier. Now we need to come up another level in terms of our emotion and our attitude. So our guys are there. We just need to execute and play harder football in the second half. Al?
In a very key game for both teams. The Dolphins trying to stay on top of the AFC East by their lonesome, and Kansas City still in contention for the AFC West title, but at least thinking about a playoff possibility as Parmalee It's run out of bounds by Mincy after a pickup of 7.
Free agent out of Ball State. We talked about him earlier. Had tremendous numbers there. As a senior, over 1,500 yards. He's only 5'8", 215 pounds. But think of another great running back out of Ball State many years ago, Timmy Brown. He has a couple of NFL marks, but so well for the Philadelphia Eagles. Irving Spikes trying to make his mark.
Second and a long 2. Bernie Parmalee gets it up to the 49-yard line, very close to a first down. Tracy Simeon making the tackle.
We've been taking a look at Keith Jackson from a lot of different directions tonight, both in receiving and the running game. Here he is doing the down block, comes down on Darren Mickle, the defensive end. That's about as good as you can do it for a tight end. Good crash block by Keith Jackson. He's had a couple drops tonight, and the crowd has gotten on him a little bit, but boy, you can't fault his run blocking. The ones we've looked at tonight have been very good. And a little bit short.
Third and that much. It enables Marino to have a personal conference with Gary Stevens.
The stadium is as pretty, if not prettier, than most stadiums in this league at night. It's an unusual configuration. It's almost square, and it is a pretty place. And Joe Robbie,
named after the late owner of the Dolphins. Third down and inches. And does Parmalee get those inches is the question.
Boy, Tracy Simeon was way into the backfield of the Dolphins. He comes in on the run blitz, and boy, he really he fouls this thing up to some degree.
And they will bring the chains in one more time. Dave Adolph, the Kansas City defensive coordinator.
And Kansas City, remember that goal line stand they had in the game last week against Denver? Denver had 4 shots from the 1-yard line and did not get into the end zone. So this team's feeling pretty good about its, about itself and about the way it plays short yardage. And boy, they are still short. They went from yay this to yay that. They went from about 6 inches to 3 inches.
And they're going to go. Miami's going to go.
At least they're going to line up to go.
And they could look, trying to perhaps draw them off sides.
They are 1 for 1 tonight on 4th down. It was a key pass to Aaron Craver to keep the touchdown drive alive.
Can Don Shula here be saying something about what he thinks about his defense?
Bernie Parmalee is the tailback. And they give him the football, and he has the first down.
And very heady. That was a quick count by Marino. He doesn't call the play, but he gave it the count number, and Kansas City, I think, was anticipating. They'd been saying what you said, Al, let's stay onside. Now stay onside. And they got caught on that quick count. They were frozen at the line of scrimmage.
I think Don Shula just told us what he thinks is the most dominant unit on his football team.
You've got it.
If your defensive team is king, you punt that ball away in a 14-14 ball game. If you think your offense is number one, you let them try to win a ball game for you. That's what Shula just did there.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line. Marino. Little hand throw going deep, and Carter knocks it down and almost picked it off. Good coverage on the play. Mark Ingram was the intended receiver.
Dale Carter closing fast on that with a good effort.
Ingram, who had 4 touchdown catches against the Jets, has not caught a ball tonight.
Ingram with a little move to the outside. Now watch Carter. What a superb athlete is. A little behind as Marino tried to squeeze it into the coverage, and Carter was right there, almost got the pick.
I'll tell you who else did a nice job was that guy 42, Charles Mincy. He started at the line of scrimmage and got all the way back downfield and got in on that thing.
Second and 10 at the 48. Marino fires it out to James Saxon.
Marino's pass complete to James Saxon.
And there's a marker down. Flag down to the secondary, down at the 28-yard line. Illegal contact against the Chiefs, meaning contact after the 5-yard zone.
The dreaded 5-yard barrier.
One of the new rules this year. Don Shula on the competition committee. Happy with the way they worked out.
Number 59 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jaime Fields.
Yeah, the rule was always there. What's new is the emphasis. Let's take a look at it. And yes, that's well beyond. That's interference as well. The ball's in the air. You could take your pick there. But certainly illegal contact there on Tracy Rogers.
Automatic first down. 10:55 remaining, third quarter.
Was that on Jaime Fields, 59?
Jaime Fields.
Okay. I stand corrected. There's the guy, Jaime Fields.
Game tied at 14. Parmalee is sent in motion. A short drop by Marino. He swings it out to Saxon. And Saxon breaks the tackle and picks up some extra yardage, takes it to the 36. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1995 Lincoln and Mercury automobiles. Beechwood aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. And the Norelco razor for our closest shave ever.
Grinding a little time off the clock here are the Miami Dolphins. We've seen some drives in this game, and they are plodding along.
Second and 3. Look at that.
Pretty good percentages and pretty even down the line. Marino, though, 2 touchdowns and no interception.
There's Bernie Parmalee slicing through and coming in to make the stop for Kansas City. As you look at Bono, was Pella McDaniels.
And he just stacked everything up. And there's no place to run. And Steve Bono has got things under control thus far. Kind of going like Marty Schottenheimer wanted it to go. And this guy he would like to keep out of the game, able to play if something should happen to Bono. Or Marty Schottenheimer made a decision to go with him, but he would prefer not to.
3rd and 5 at the 38-yard line. Marino out of the gun. Marino to McDuffie. First down to the 27-yard line. O.J. McDuffie. And Irving Fryer is hurt and writhing down at the 19-yard line. Was rolling over.
Oh, he is in agony.
Did he get hit by Dale Carter or Mark Collins, the corner
Way
on that side? Looked like there was some contact downfield.
We'll check it out on the replay when we come back. Injury timeout. Irving Fryer is fine. We'll get to that in a second as play resumes. Miami at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10. With Ingram in motion. Marino drops it off for Craver. And he's close to a first down at the 19-yard line. Stopped by Dale Carter. There is Irving Fryer back in the game.
Yeah, the wind knocked out of him. He just was hit when he should have been looking the other way. Dale Carter came up to play the completion on O.J. McDuffie, and he collided with Fryer. And I think Fryer was more concerned that he had a serious injury when he realized he just had the wind knocked out of him.
But serious at first. He was rolling over and arriving, but he's fine. It's 2nd down and 1. And on the corner blitz, that was Minchie coming up to make the stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Minchie came from the next county.
Yep. Irving spikes the ball carrier. If you're sitting up in the stands, you could see it a mile away, but I'm not sure in the field you could.
It is so hard to time that thing out, to find yourself right at the line of scrimmage exactly when the ball is snapped, and that's exactly what Charles Minchie did. You could not have timed that any better.
Minchie seeing duty once again in place of David Whitmore, has now missed 4 games with a thigh injury.
3rd and 1. 7.5 to go. 3rd quarter. The game is tied at 14. Bernie Parmalee has the first down, and Minchie makes the tackle at the 13-yard line.
Another drive for Miami. Another drive for Miami, I might say.
Yeah, they have had the ball the entire third quarter here as we move down towards the 7-minute mark. Kansas City's offense hasn't played any football since sometime yesterday. This baby has it's been a long, cold spell for the Kansas City offense as the Dolphins are keeping this ball for the entire third quarter to this point. These guys got to be getting tired in the white jerseys.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line. Here's Parmalee swinging to the outside. Stays on his feet. Almost picks up the first. He broke a would-be tackle by Tracy Rogers.
Shades of Barry Sanders.
What an effort.
He got that hand down, kept his footing. Not the easiest thing to do on a natural surface like this.
Tell you one thing, Bernie Parmalee is going to want to get the tape of this game, Frank, and hear his name mentioned with Barry Sanders in the same sentence. But you're right. That's exactly what it looks like.
Barry Sanders looked to me.
He got 9.5 at 2nd and inches. At the 4.
They would have been kicking the conversion had that been Barry Sanders.
He's down to 2 seconds. He's not going to get this play.
Parmalee lined up in the slot. There was some confusion as to the formation, and you can see it. You get to read it in Parmalee's eyes. 2nd and inches from the 4 when we come back. 6:05 left, third quarter. Game time.
How about Don's eyes?
As cool as your red top and favorite hot spots. It's something with hometowns and everyone's class clown. It's always been true. This bus for you.
Just for you, a taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
It's always been true.
Happy holidays, Dave.
Thank you.
There sure is a lot to do during the holidays. In fact, you could really work up an appetite.
Boy, I'm hungry.
Luckily, Wendy's has a Big Bacon Classic Combo. A quarter-pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, cheese, lots of toppings, biggie fries, and a 20-ounce drink. A delicious meal.
Here goes. I love the holidays.
Try Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo.
Remember to watch Wendy's 3-Tour Challenge.
A great tournament benefiting a great cause, adoption.
An elite field of the world's top players tee off in 1994's Final Showdown. Coverage of the Johnny Walker World Championship begins Saturday on ABC.
Kansas City defensively now trying to hold on as the Dolphins have driven from their own 39 down to the 4. This year, 15 touchdown drives, consuming 10 or more plays. Only the 49ers have more. That's pretty good company. 2nd and inches at the 4-yard line. 6:05 to go in the third, and the game tied at 14. Marino on a roll. He's going to keep it. Touchdown, Marino. Flag down.
Whoa, he throws that baby about 40 rows up.
Marino, as you know, not the most mobile of quarterbacks. Defensive holding, touchdown Miami. Especially after the Achilles surgery, but he saw the opening and exploits it.
Well, it took him a while to get there. He really had no other choice. The call was against Mincy holding on the tight end Jackson and Dan Marino.
When Dan Marino on his own. When Dan Marino runs the football into the end zone on you, you have had a defensive breakdown.
And it takes a while.
Kaboom, 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 he is there. Kansas City gets 3 plays at the start of this quarter. The Dolphins have been hammering away, and they get a touchdown on an absolutely superior drive.
Stoyanovich for the point after. Mincy was holding Jackson, Keith Jackson on the hold. That's only the 4th time this season Marino has run for a gain. It's his first touchdown of the season. And Miami has the lead. Well, through the years, Dan Marino, he'll go to the Hall of Fame for what he's done as a quarterback, but not what he's done on the ground. There it is. His average measured in inches, 17 inches. There it is tonight.
Tough to get a touchdown out of 3 rushes for no yards.
Yeah, but he's done it. That's the 8th rushing touchdown of his spectacular career. 2 of those came as a rookie.
Steve Young and Bobby Douglas, he is not.
Right. Just for comparative purposes, he's averaging 0.5 in his career per rush. Young this year averaging 4.9 yards per rush.
Oh, I guess we'll still let him play, though.
Yeah, I think so. 21-14, Miami by 7 with 5:57 to go in the third. Stoyanovich sends it down to John Vaughn. Vaughn at the 4-yard line. Moves up to the 32-yard line. Tackled there by Muhammad Oliver, number 20. And Kansas City will have the ball for the second time in the half. They were 3 and out the first time. The Stars and Stripes, Goodyear blimp, hovering above North Miami, providing the scenics tonight. Joe Robbie Stadium, the site of the Super Bowl on the 29th of January. Last time the Super Bowl was held here, well, that was the San Francisco-Cincinnati beauty that was won by a Montana to Taylor pass at the end. Marcus Allen picks up about 6, loses the football, but after Brian Cox dislodged it, Allen looks around and the officials say he was down.
Ooh, there's the hit in the strip by Cox, and the ball is out. And he's ruled down, but the ball bounced out of bounds anyway.
And the ball bounced out of bounds just about the original line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd down and 10 at the 31. Allen again. Marcus up to the 37-yard line. Cox and Beavers in on the tackle. 3rd and 4. Marty Schottenheimer's had a very good head coaching career with Cleveland and Kansas City. It's been 9 seasons since one of his teams lost 3 games in a row, a fate that will befall Kansas City if they lose tonight.
Number 76 is John Alt on the right of your screen.
What a job.
He gets hit from behind by Marcus Allen, but not until he'd already knocked this guy about 4 yards off the ball.
And Alt already has a bad back.
Yes.
3rd down and 4.
He didn't need that.
And the catch is made at the 50 by Marcus Allen. 1st down, Kansas City.
So good working out of the backfield. That time he came in motion, Marcus Allen did. Turned it upfield. Bono with the slight rollout. Allen took it down about 7 or 8 yards. 1st down yardage. Broke it to the outside, and Bono hit him in stride. Bono on the move. Now Allen on the break. Gives Bono an easy target. So good working into the pass pattern. Got a good call by Paul Hackett.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Greg Hill is in there as the running back. Bono throws into coverage. It is intercepted by Gene Atkins. Picking up blockers. Laterals the ball. The official falls down. Troy Vincent takes it on a wild and wacky play. Troy Vincent's going to go away for the touchdown.
Atkins is down on the field. Whether he's celebrating, I don't know. But he better be so happy that worked. That is not a Don Shula type effort.
Yeah, I agree with you. When he first flipped that ball back to Vincent, I thought it was a mistake. Vincent almost lost about 4 or 5 yards right after the flip by Atkins, and Atkins again is still down on the field.
Let's go back to the first mistake, though. Another poorly thrown ball by Bono into double coverage, trying to go to Willie Davis. Atkins coming over from the free safety to help J.B. Brown. Picks it off.
He stayed in
bounds there. Cox with a block for him.
But look at this.
Just a little out
He's
there.
out of bounds.
The referee was caught looking at Cox to see if Cox had clipped or not. Did not see that he had stepped out of bounds. Here comes the flip.
The official gets flipped as well.
This is as wild a play as we've seen in a while, but again, it did appear right there that Gene Atkins stepped out of bounds. It looked like his right foot came down on the line, but it matters not.
And Stoyanovich will try to tack on the extra point.
Well, if you're from Kansas City and you've been opposed to instant replay, your friends will let you know about this one.
Crazy play. A lot of ironies involved in that play. Dan talking about replay. One of the things Don Shula would love to see reinstituted is instant replay. Not for that particular play, though, because he was the beneficiary. But Gene Atkins stepped out of bounds. It should be back at the 40-yard line and would have been had the replay rule been in effect. Meanwhile, Dave Hamilton was the official who went down, the umpire, but he's okay. And Aaron Pointer was the man who was closest to the play, the head linesman who was looking up when Atkins' foot was out of bounds. The kick is taken at the 10-yard line by John Vaughn, who busts one up the middle. And John Vaughn is out in front. And John Vaughn will go all the way for a touchdown.
No flags.
And until a few seconds ago, neither team had run a return back of any form. Kickoff, punt, interception, fumble for a touchdown this season, and now you get them back-to-back.
John Vaughn found an opening. He had been hesitating on his earlier returns tonight. He had a couple of them. Started to say something about it. This time he found himself a gap, just burst through it, and was gone. Third-year man out of your alma mater, Dan, Michigan.
Vaughn ran one back earlier this season as a Seahawk and then was picked up 3 weeks ago. Lynn Elliott for the point after. He goes 91 yards on that run back, and what a game this is. With 3:39 left in the third.
A couple of zany plays.
I think we have a few replays coming
Yes, I think maybe we do. That was a combination of good running by... Here, let's go back. There's the interception by Atkins. He stays in there, but again, take a look here. Right there where it's out, look at Pointer there on the left. He's looking back to the play, to the block made by Brian Cox, and is not looking at the feet of Gene Atkins. You can understand how that can happen. You can't see everything at once.
Officials.
And there goes Hamilton to the ground after the hit. And then this is just breakaway speed by Troy Vincent. You tell me that this guy's had a reconstructed knee, which is what he had.
Steve Bono didn't even get a hand on him.
Yeah.
In the end, John Vaughn finds an opening, gets a big block right at the point of the opening and turns it on. He's a big man, 5'9", 203 pounds, a lot of speed. Runs away from the field. Two of the biggest plays we've had this year on Monday night, back-to-back.
Well, the wild thing is that only 3 teams in the league, these two and Denver, had not had a touchdown on any sort of a return all season, and then it happens back-to-back. A fumble return and a kickoff return, and the Dolphins had gone 302 consecutive games, an NFL record, without allowing a touchdown on a kickoff return. 1975, Harold Hart of Oakland, the Oakland Raiders, bringing one back against Miami. Amazing.
Well, let's just sit back here and take a deep breath. Yeah, this is... Boy, you talk about how quickly elation becomes frustration. The Dolphins celebrating that Atkins to Vincent return, and then all of a sudden it disappears on them.
We got to look at Steve Bono. He has thrown 3 times into double coverage. 2 of them have been picked off. The third one should have been.
Gene Atkins had radar lock on that ball. He saw that for 15 yards. I don't know what Bono was looking. what he was looking at.
Here's the kick by Elliott. This is O.J. McDuffie. And he is taken down at the 25-yard line by Monty Groh. Now, if you joined us late, Joe Montana is in uniform and can play. And with Bono's problems on the last couple of drives, you're thinking about, well, what's Schottenheimer going to do? But Marty made it very clear. He said, my dream scenario, win the game, continue to rest Joe, and then play him next Sunday against Houston.
You know, this offense is so precise, you have to feel that Bono has just been making a bad read. When you see double coverage, you don't throw to it. There's always an alternate safe receiver to go to, and 3 times Bono has thrown into that coverage. 2 times it's been picked.
First down Miami at the 25-yard line with Ingram in motion. And Bernie Parmalee takes it up to the 30 with 3:25 remaining in the third quarter. The Dolphins tonight, first time they had the ball, it was 3 and out, but then 2 long touchdown marches, then a punt, then the half ended on 1 play, and then a 61-yard march for a touchdown. So
you notice
81 and 61 for Marino.
You notice none of those are ending in turnovers.
Nope.
It's been an error-free night tonight for the Miami Dolphins offensively.
Second down and 5 from the 30-yard line. Marino guns it to the near side, and Irving Fryar makes the catch and gets bounced out of bounds at the 42.
It's hard to fault the coverage. Irving Fryar having a great year, by the way. We've already documented that, but when Marino releases that ball, there's so much on it, and yet as a former receiver, I tell you, it's an easy ball to catch. Dale Carter with pretty good coverage makes a break to the ball, but the ball is there and has a lot on it, yet an easy ball to handle for a receiver.
Where does a receiver go to prepare to play for the Miami Dolphins? What do? Catch it from one of those automatic machines that throws it at you about 90 or 100 miles an hour?
Gardner got away with a face mask on that last play as Bernie Parmalee slips out of the backfield and takes it up to the 48-yard line. Nice night for Bernie, who came on with an explosion early on and then sort of retreated to real life in the last couple of weeks, but he's picked it up again tonight.
Well, he's been getting good blocking up front. A pass blocking line that really is known for that, but really there's no reason why they shouldn't be more accomplished at running the football. Webb, Sims, Dellenbach, Widener, Heller.
And particularly on that left side with Sims and Webb, 2 of the best.
Second and 4, a minute and a half to play in the third quarter. Miami up by 7. End around to McDuffie. And fights for a first down and should have it. Tackled by Jaime Fields.
That's a smart call by the Dolphins. I try to do that a couple times a game in different forms. Try to get the ball into O.J. McDuffie's hands. You not only have a guy who can catch it as a receiver, but obviously he's a skilled and gifted return man. And I would try to get the football tucked under his arm as often as I possibly could. And if it has to be in reversing the ball, either from the wide receiver or the slot position, I'd do it.
And Kansas City is a tough pursuing team. That slows it down.
From the 47-yard line, here's Parmalee. Exploits a hole. Bernie Parmalee inside the 30 and out in front. Touchdown, Parmalee.
Boy, this is unbelievable.
Boy, did he blow through that hole.
He is either a lot faster than I thought, or the Kansas City secondary is a lot slower than I thought.
We talked about just a moment ago about the blocking on the left side, but Burt Widener pulling from right guard, key block to spring. Bernie Parmalee just exploded through that hole.
Keep an eye on Saxon, number 22.
There's
a block.
There's Webb, Jackson, Widener. Everybody, but look at Bernie Parmalee run away. That's William White. Nobody gained an inch on this guy on about a 40-yard run.
A 108-yard night for a smiling Bernie Parmalee. His career long rush of 47 right there.
We were talking about it earlier, Al. He had 150 yards against the Raiders early in the season, but he really had plateaued, and he has come to life tonight.
Undrafted, Parmalee out of Ball State in Muncie, Indiana. Stoyanovich for the point after. So in this critical game for both teams with 36 seconds remaining in the third, the Dolphins answer the long Vaughn run back with another touchdown and go up again by 14.
An extended weekend at Bernie's here. Look at this speed by Parmalee. Well executed play by the Miami Dolphins, and this third quarter has given us a little bit of everything.
Good called anything for Kansas City there. Secondary up very late. And inside, no chance.
And how big a plus is it for the Miami Dolphins to get a touchdown where Dan Marino didn't have to do it? You know, he's got so many touchdowns in that passing arm of his, and any help that you give Marino in the running game is just such a monstrous plus. And you see that Parmalee with that run goes over 100 yards.
Boy, and it's get-together time over in the Kansas City side of this field. They fail 35-21, and this could be their football season. They will not disappear mathematically, but they will be in trouble.
Well, to follow up one of the things we talked about at the half, if they go to 7-7, those 7-7 teams in the AFC are going to need help apart from the Buffalo Bills, who can win their 2 games and go to the playoffs, barring a Kansas City Raider tie in that last game. And as I mentioned, there hasn't been a tie in the NFL in 5 years.
And who among us would bet against the Buffalo Bills?
Right. That's the 10-headed monster.
That's right. You got to admire their tenaciousness and their determination. They'll be the last group of guys that I ever count out. Well, let's see if we can run this one back. There's time for a couple more scores here before the end of the quarter.
Well, here comes Vaughn on the run at the 10. And this time they bunch him up at the 27-yard line. 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Steve Bono started his career with the Vikings after playing collegiately at UCLA. He was a Pittsburgh Steeler during the players' strike in '87, made 3 starts there, 5 other starts for the 49ers in '91 when Montana and Young were hurt. And his second start tonight for Kansas City.
Turned it around up in Minnesota for a while, too, didn't he?
Yep. Early on in his career. At the 27-yard line, first down. Bono throws. Catch made up at the 37. J.J. Burt. Should be enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 38.
Times flashes of brilliance on the part of Bono. Good play fake there, freezing the cornerback. Burton with a good move to the outside and a perfect delivery by Bono.
Unfortunately, it's been marred by some other flashes of poorly thrown balls into stiff coverage.
That is the time for the third quarter expiring. And so Miami leads 35-21 as we go to the fourth. And we'll return with Monday Night Football after this from our ABC station. In Miami, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Lynn Swan. A look at Derek Thomas, that defensive unit shredded in the third quarter. And Miami leading 35-21 as we start the fourth. Kansas City first and 10 from the 38-yard line. And here's Marcus Allen taking it up to the 45 for a pickup of 7, and a flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
I think they're going to call Derek Walker, the tight end, for holding. That flag was thrown right at him.
Jeff Cross down.
That's Walker right there, number 82. How do you know that?
Little birdie whispered in my ear.
Holding.
All right, let's take a look at this thing. There's Walker, 82. And that's pretty much of a toss down. And amazingly, it was Jeff Cross. Al, you are know all, see all, be all.
Mr. Omniscient. Whatever that means.
I have no clue.
From the 28-yard line on first and 20. Passed a little low and dropped by Bennett, and that wasn't going very far anyway. Second down.
Well, another one that could have been thrown a lot better than that. It was thrown low, had too much on it. It's just a little lob passer. And it was a well set up screen.
That was a drill.
You're trying to help your back get into position to move behind the blockers and not hindering.
Looks a lot easier to catch in slow motion.
Second and 20. Bono, almost picked. Vincent was there. Davis couldn't hold on. Troy Vincent, who's already scored a touchdown tonight on the back end of the Gene Atkins interception.
Dan just commented on it a little earlier. Coming back from full reconstruction knee surgery, heard it last December, operated on the 23rd. He's got it all back to it, 100%. Watch him drive on this ball. That's a terrific move, even though he missed it. He is physically back, and what a fine cornerback he is. Third down and 20.
They're going to call the false start.
We're hearing whistles. This play never happened.
The tight end on the far side moved, but got set. But nonetheless, the official called the false start.
The crowd's allowed you. Didn't know whether it was a whistle or not.
Before the snap, 45 false start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That is Jimmy Johnson.
Who's going to make this big announcement this week.
Right. A very popular figure here in Miami these days.
Top of the screen, there he is, number 45. He's going to sit back. That's all it takes. Although he's allowed to get up and move back. A tight end is allowed that type of motion, but you can't simulate the beginning of a play, and that's what he did there.
Third and 25 in the opening minute of the fourth quarter. Miami leading 35-21. They have to get to the 49 to convert. Hill makes the catch, tackled at the 27, fourth and a mile. Michael Stewart makes the tackle.
And this defensive unit has gone from boos to loud cheers.
To toast.
How quickly it can happen.
From roast to toast.
Next week, the penultimate weekend in the 1994 season, the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night against the Saints from New Orleans next Monday night. And then we'll wrap it up the night after Christmas with the 49ers at Minnesota. Well, Don looking a little bit more relaxed as Louis Aguiar floats one. Short kick, but it takes a nice Kansas City bounce. And what would have been a very ordinary kick turns into a pretty good one as it rolls into 26, 48 yards. Miami with the ball and up by 2 TDs. There's your lineup tomorrow night. Tuesday night, always a big night on ABC. Barbara Walters presents the 10 most fascinating people of 1994. That wraps up tomorrow night's schedule. And then Wednesday, Ellen DeGeneres. Great show. Wednesday night, right here on ABC. Fourth quarter. 13:31 remaining. Miami with the ball up by 14 as Dan Marino begins his drive from the 26-yard line. And Bernie Parmalee squirts up to the 30 for a gain of 4. We touched on it earlier with the running back situation. Terry Kirby was going to be the starter, but he was hurt. Mark Higgs was their leading rusher last year. He was waived. And Bernie Parmalee, a special teams performer over the past couple of years, has now become the man out of the backfield for Don Shula's Dolphins.
And of course, another big loss, worked a lot out of that backfield, was Keith Byers. Gone for the season. He was so productive, not only running the ball, but as a receiver.
Quick to remind me tonight that Ohio State beat Michigan.
Second and 7, and Bernie up to the 40-yard line. William White makes the tackle. Bernie Parmalee.
If you could, we'd just like to send our condolences and express our regrets to the family and friends of Pat Haggerty, one of the great NFL officials for over 28 years. He died this past Friday. His home in Denver, and for his family and all of his friends, we'd just like to express our condolences to you. He was a wonderful man.
Sure was. Worked 3 different Super Bowls and a real fixture in the NFL officiating families. So to all the Haggertys, our thoughts are with you.
Outstanding referee through the years. Very consistent. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line as Parmalee picks up about 2. Well, Don Shula tonight approaching another milestone when you factor in those postseason wins he's had. Last year he went past George Halas and became the winningest coach in history. But on a regular season basis alone, there it is. George Halas won 318 games. And notice that if Shula wins tonight, Halas and Shula will have won and lost the same number of games. Halas was involved in 31 ties, and Shula, because of overtime, just 6.
Well, that and the fact that they used to have such low-scoring games.
Right. 2nd and 7. You look into the face mask of Dan Saliamua as Marino retreats, and he hits O.J. McDuffie, spinning and darting and dancing his way to the 36 and a first down.
And O.J. McDuffie, almost every time he catches the ball is for a first down. He had 25 receptions coming into tonight's game. 21 were for first downs. He's had 2 first down receptions tonight, I believe.
And this is what will, over the years, continue to make him such a dangerous threat. It's after the catch. These types of moves here are instinctive. Look at that spin to get away from Simeon, and then back upfield and takes the big hits from Rogers, from Carter. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that afterwards, I'm sure even he to himself goes, why'd I do that?
Playing like a first-round draft pick, which he is, out of Penn State a year ago.
Bernie Parmalee playing a little bit better than a free agent out of Ball State. Bernie was not drafted, and Miami expressed some casual interest in him, but he sat out a year, went to work for UPS in Muncie, Indiana, and at a bowling alley, and then got a shot. He comes limping off here.
He's shipping himself to the sidelines right now.
But a real storybook situation for Bernie Parmalee.
Bernie might want to be making a trip to the bank pretty soon here and depositing a few more Dolphin dollars if this keeps up.
Bernie Parmalee trying to shake it off, having a spectacular night. 127 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground and 1 on a pass reception.
I don't quite know what the injury was. I think he was more concerned that it could have been a serious one, and obviously turned out it wasn't.
2nd and 8. Irving Spikes is in the game. And the fake by Marino to Spikes. And then Dan floats one incomplete, intended for Irving Fryer. He makes the acquaintance of one Neil Smith.
Yeah, and Dan said, that's me, Irving, not you. One of the rare throws that is not catchable.
And keep in mind that this is a guy who physically is not 100% back from the Achilles tendon surgery of a year ago. Dan Marino is not as mobile and as active as he was. He wasn't all that mobile and active to begin with. So it's kind of scary when you look at those numbers to think that Dan Marino is probably still only about 90% or so.
3rd down and 8. And a little shovel pass. Lee Grosskopf lives. Aaron Craver off to the races. Inside the 10 and run out of bounds at the 6. William White shoved him out.
Oh, he was headed for the Palouse.
He was off to the races. The old shovel.
Oh, and for Marty, you can see this one getting totally away from them now. Miami doing pretty much what they want offensively. The little shovel to the inside, designed to come inside the block of Keith Sims, but instead Carver saw the outside, and Craver rather, and made the right move.
What Sims did was he locked up on Neil Smith and really gave Craver the option of going either way, and that's a pretty good look of Dan Marino having to take a timeout.
On 1st and goal with 9:11 left in regulation, Frank said the game's slipping away for Kansas City and the season as well. Well, Marty Schottenheimer's teams, and those include the Browns in the mid to late 80s and now the Kansas City Chiefs. Since 1986, 562 quarters he has coached, and the third quarter was the first time since '86 a team of Schottenheimers has allowed 3 touchdowns in a quarter in a regular season game.
Well, Montana taking it all in from the sideline.
Well, the Dolphins now trying to apply the coup de grace at the 6-yard line on 1st and goal, leading by 14. And taking it down halfway to the goal line is Irving Spikes, picking up 3. White and Smith in on the stop.
Neil Smith with those bad hands. Both of them have been injured over the course of the season, still trying to strip that ball out of there.
Pretty tough to do without a thumb. Boy, how about Spikes meeting William White here? And Spikes, he keeps his old deal going forward. Look at this. Boy, looks like White stands him up and sends him back, but Spikes, good leg strength, drives forward for a couple more yards. Irving Spikes. Great name for a running back, isn't it?
Yep.
Be even better for a linebacker.
Second and goal. The play clock is down to 1. And Irving gets thrown down by Darren Mickle.
He almost got spiked.
Let's think if his first name was Lee. Lee Spike. All right, okay.
Yes.
I'll try it later.
It's a little late.
Well, Irving is coming out here on 3rd down and goal. There he is, the
Try that earlier.
rookie from Northeast Louisiana. Aaron Craver comes in. 3rd and goal from the 6. And an inside handoff to Craver, and he can only get to the 4. So the Dolphins had a chance to put the finishing touch on, and they're going to have to settle for 3 here. Sally Alua makes the tackle.
How about the unguided missile there of Charles Mincy?
Yes, he did look like a missile.
It was, that's unfair to say unguided. He was guided. He knew right where he was going, and that's the way you support. That's the way you come in and try to make something happen. Who takes the timeout here?
It is 4th down, and the Chiefs
training staffs are out on the field.
Yep. Bernie Kukar says an official's timeout. 7:28 left in regulation. Kansas City took that last timeout to make sure they've got the right people on the field, and Miami's going to attempt a field goal here.
This must be a good feeling for Miami when you look at the total yards here by half, because this is really the exact opposite of what happened to them last week in their game against Buffalo. It was the huge second half by Buffalo that did them in, and here now it's Miami's turn to turn in a big second half.
More than that, they're moving right into at least the wild card playoff position.
This is a 22-yard field goal attempt, a little more than an extra point, and that puts them up by 17. Officially in the books as a 21-yarder. And the Miami Dolphins lead 38-21. And, well, the Dolphins trying to win the AFC East, but, you know, we touched on it at the top. Kansas City with, it's a cliche, but sense of urgency applies with this team. A fully flowered team with older guys and veterans, and this was going to be Kansas City's year, and now they're in danger of not even getting to postseason play.
And it's a very real danger, and you're going to see it in the last couple of weeks, a sense of urgency, but you know, sometimes urgency translates into a tightness by players that when so much is riding on every play and every little mistake becomes so crucial that some teams are frozen by that, and Kansas City right now is going to have to fight that here in the last couple of weeks.
Well, they have Houston at home, and then they have to go to the Raiders, and the Raiders are playing well.
But they're going to be 7-7 if they lose, and they will need help to get to the playoffs. Even if they win those 2 games, other circumstances have to evolve to get them in.
And as we said, Miami is at least in as a wild card, and if they win one of their last 2 games, either against Indianapolis or Detroit, they will win the Eastern Division of the AFC.
Again, 4 of those 9 qualify. Pittsburgh and Cleveland already in. San Diego leading the West. Miami with a victory here would be 9-5. The Raiders in New England in pretty good shape. And then you'd have Kansas City, Buffalo, and Denver all at 7-7. And those 3 teams at 7-7 two of them, KC and Denver, would need help. Buffalo would control its own fate by winning its 2 games. Again, barring an LA-KC tie.
And the way Kansas City started this season, winning their first 3 ball games, the thought that after 14 games, that even making the playoffs was in peril is unthinkable. It was unthinkable then, and I know right now that shock is prevalent in Kansas City.
Well, the fallout of free agency has been the extension of parity of people knocking. I think it has done an awful lot for fans of the National Football League. Their teams, so many of them stayed alive and are staying alive in the playoff hunt.
Staying alive.
Here's Stoyanovich kicking, and it's fielded at the 3-yard line by Vaughn. Oh, back 91 yards. Doesn't have much room to maneuver, but turns it into a decent run back out to the 34-yard line.
Now 38-21, we have to see some big-time thinking on the part of the Chiefs. They're running out of ticks on the clock.
Again, Montana, if you joined us late, sprained his foot against Seattle. Didn't dress last week, though he was available to go back and get dressed, and he was listed as the emergency quarterback, the 3rd QB. Can play tonight if needed, but Schottenheimer wants to keep him out if he possibly can. And he has to this point at the 34-yard line, first down, Kansas City. And this is Kimball Anders up to the 40-yard line.
Well, I think you could write a Joe Montana appearance off tonight unless some points are put on the board by Kansas City and we get a little closer to Miami, and something should happen to Bono. About the only time we would see him.
2nd and 4. Bono throws underneath to Anders. He fights his way to the 46, and that's a first down with 6:45 remaining. Hollier makes the tackle. Kansas City has to go without a huddle.
First down.
Catch is made by Burt, who's able to get out of bounds.
Interesting. This is what this offense is all about. The little high percentage passes, the little short game. You get to the receiver and let them run the ball, and we have not seen much of it. We've seen the bomb hurt Kansas City tonight with the 2 interceptions. Off of Bono in the end zone, one that should have been intercepted. But there's almost a desperation to the offense early on in the game, and now they're going back to the Kansas City offense.
2nd and 5. Bono guns one incomplete behind J.J. Burt. Well, if the Dolphins hold on and win it, they control their fate or destiny, however you want to describe it. They'd be a game in front of New England, and they'll have a lot of breathing room, too, because if Miami and the Patriots wind up in a tie, Miami wins the tiebreaker by virtue of their 2 wins over New England. So, in effect, it's like having a 2-game lead. 3rd down and 5 at the 50-yard line. And there's a flag down as the Dolphins jump. Short of the first down on the catch by Allen for the marker.
Tackle by Frankie Smith. We have a flag on the play.
Offside, Miami. So Bernie Kukar will march. He's being told they'll be that much shy of the first down.
That's about the size of that cockroach that just ran across.
Can you believe that? You saw it too?
On the defense on the 53.
I thought it was an alligator.
5-yard penalty. We'll repeat 3rd down.
I was going to put a leash on it.
Well, you never know what comes through this booth, and
well, those
lizards just did.
Look who just dropped by.
Right from the Okefenokee swamp.
Yeah.
3rd and
we need the Orkin man.
45. And this is Kimball Anders picking up the first down, which is fine, but they got to step it up in a hurry because they're going to need 3 scores down by 17.
Somewhere along the line, can almost be assured that Bono's going to try to air one out, probably to Burton. He represents most of the speed.
Goes to the far side and overthrows Billy Davis. It'll be 2nd and 10. Miami will go to Indianapolis next week, and then they'll close it out here on Christmas night against the Detroit Lions. One of very interesting games over the next couple of weekends coming up.
That Christmas night game, that's an ESPN game, correct? Mm-hmm. That thing could have a whole lot riding on it.
2nd and 10 at the 42. And that's incomplete. Oh, and Marcus Allen gets taken for a ride by Hollier, but he gently places him back down on the turf, and it will be 3rd down.
And all of a sudden, Bono is putting a whole lot of air under the football. It's sailing all over the place. Overthrows Davis on the sideline, tosses that one over Marcus Allen. That's Matt Blunden on the right, number 14.
There's a lot of Matt, isn't it? 6'6",
yeah,
230-pounder.
3rd down and 10.
I think that's Derek Walker again, the tight end.
That's trick for him.
Start. Number 82 on the offense prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
But one of the to watch if you're head coach.
Yeah. And one of the good guys in the National Football League, Marty Schottenheimer. He is one of the good people in this game. He learned how to coach the right way. He has had really excellent and remarkable success over his career. You can't judge everything a coach does by whether or not he won a Super Bowl. Marty Schottenheimer has coached as well as anybody in this league over the last 10 years.
3rd and 15. And it is incomplete. Incomplete, not intercepted. Chris Green coming up with the football.
And we're close to having a little explosion over here.
4th and 15.
Number 90 there is Marco Coleman, former All-American linebacker at Georgia Tech that's been converted to a defensive end here in Miami. And there are 5 minutes and 3 seconds left in this ball game, and I hope that these guys are able to keep their tempers in check down the home stretch here.
What you just mentioned, Dan, is probably one of the problems that Miami's had defensively, and Coleman really was, like you said, an All-American linebacker, forced to go to the defensive end position.
Right.
4th and 15. Trying to keep it going, and the catch is made at the 28 by J.J. Burton, and that's enough for a 1st down.
Boy, and what a catch that was. You got to get the ball to Burton somewhere. If you need 17 points to get back into this game, he's the one that can explode for you.
18-yard pickup. They stay alive. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. They swing it out here to Eric Martin. He steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The 2nd down and 5.
Well, this crowd starts to thin out here at Joe Robbie Stadium, but that's only because they have left a little early and left very happy. They are seeing their Dolphins turn in a performance that has kind of put to rest the December swoon of a year ago. They won a game they had to win, and they won it and appears to be winning it pretty convincingly here tonight.
Bono under pressure, floats one incomplete.
Well, they had a mini swoon going this December, too. They had lost 3 of the last 4.
And that's why they have kind of cemented it a little bit, put it away with this thing here.
It's not in the minds of the fans. I think some of the players were concerned. I think we put it right to Don last night when we talked with him, and you just don't know what to do with it. How do you turn it around when it starts to happen?
Well, you can say all you want to, Frank and Al, as you well know. Oh, last year was last year. You know, this is this year. We don't think about that. Baloney, you don't think about it. Nobody forgets a collapse of that magnitude.
3rd down and 5, and the papers and the radio stations won't let you forget it. Here's Anders taking it to the 20-yard line. And
Chris Green there, number 42, he's arguing that some of the Kansas City offensive linemen came in late and got some late shots. You have to admire Kansas City. These guys are staying with it. They see their backs stood up. They're going to come in and try to help out. That's the way the game's played.
They're going to get a measurement.
Ball came loose at the end.
They might have blown the whistle at this point. If they hadn't blown it, they should have blown it.
I think that's a whistle that's blown because of forward progress. When the guy has stood up and it appears that he has no chance of breaking out, that whistle will be blown.
That's John Sandusky, who is the assistant head coach.
Started his football career at the Cleveland Browns. Don Shula. They've been together almost ever since.
On 1st and 10, the catch is made by Derek Walker, but Walker can't get out of bounds. Clock keeps rolling.
When Don Shula had to miss practice because of his Achilles tendon surgery on Friday morning, it's John Sandusky who takes over. He is really an extension of Don Shula and has been just a fine offensive line coach in this league for decades.
2nd and 6. And Bono throws into the end zone, and Davis makes the catch for the touchdown. So Kansas City still breathing. That makes it 38-27. They still need 2 more scores, regardless of what they do here, in terms of the extra point attempt. Whether they want to go for 1 or 2.
Really no need to go for 2.
They're going to need a touchdown and a field goal to tie if they go for 1.
Well, 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions still leave them a point short.
Frankie Smith on the coverage in what appeared to be some kind of a zone. It certainly wasn't what you would expect from goal line coverage.
Lynn Elliott boots it through, so that makes the score 38-28 with 3:26 remaining in regulation, and the Chiefs were able to execute that drive without using a timeout, but they used one earlier in the half, and so they have 2 and the 2-minute warning and a probable onside kick attempt coming up here.
Boy, a good look at that catch there by Willie Davis. Craig Janoff, our director, and our crew have been all over this thing tonight. Nice job, guys and gals.
Willie Davis, and what a thrill he and Montana gave us those weeks ago when we were out in Denver. A 30-28 victory in the last 8 seconds for Kansas City over the Broncos.
You know, lost in that moment, I think, was the fantastic job that Davis did on that touchdown catch. Everybody will always remember Montana. But Willie made the catch running along the goal line and then had to go back in. And I was talking to Montana about that before the game tonight, and Joe said Davis was my 3rd option on that play. I was looking for Tracy Green, the tight end, and then somebody else, and then there was Davis, and that's typical Montana.
Well, the Denver defensive team will love to hear you say that.
Yeah. It's a scoop.
Just heard a moan.
Yeah.
3rd option.
3rd option.
Well, Denver, what a turnaround by them.
Yeah.
Talked a lot about various teams tonight that they've hung in there, still alive.
Now, what do you think of this?
This ball takes a different bounce on this natural surface. You're trying to get 2 bounces and then the 3rd bounce to take it up in the air. And these kickers are amazing at pulling this off.
Well, you've got Lynn Elliott.
This looks like the start of the land rush in Oklahoma, John.
There will be some collision.
And here they go. And it goes out of bounds.
Well, that ball didn't go 10 yards.
So that's not pretty. Like I said, they're so good at it.
Kurt Schottenheimer is the special teams coach, Marty's brother.
We have a short free kick out of bounds. By rule, it is a 5-yard penalty and a re-kick.
And then you can do it one more time.
Yeah, and that's the last time.
And that's it. Yeah, that can happen once.
See, I don't think this penalty, to tell you the truth, is severe enough.
Yeah.
Because you retain possession of the football, and I think that's right. I'm not sure that's really what everybody had in mind when they set this thing up like that.
And you're right, because they didn't really have it in mind, because if you do it again, then the other team's going to get the football.
Yeah, here, you did the first one so poorly that you get a 5-yard penalty, and if you do this one well, and you get possession, there really is such a little penalty that it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't mean it's wrong, because it doesn't make sense to me.
It was late in the game. It needs to be discussed.
Here we go again. It has to go 10 yards.
Get up, get up, get up.
Ooh, but it's taken by the Dolphin at the 35-yard line. And off
special teams coach nightmare.
Speaking of the Denver Broncos, the longtime Bronco comes up with a big play. That's where the ball did take the good hop. It took the big hop. It's just that everybody in a white shirt chose to run right by Braxton. The first wave went past him, and the first wave ended up being the only wave. Danon Hughes, the receiver, got a hand on him. But those guys are there for their hands, not their tackling ability. Heads up play by Braxton.
First and goal for Miami. They lead by 10. Irving Spikes is the tailback in this test. James Saxton is the fullback. They give it to Irving. And it's another Miami touchdown.
About 7.8 for style points there.
Waving Spikes with his second rushing touchdown of the season.
Forward somersault.
Great look at it here. Talk about coming right at you. Don't flinch.
Tracy Rogers, 52, trying to get in there.
Talk about sacrificing your body for a touchdown. Kenny Wolf.
We did it.
Producing this telecast, giving us how many different angles do we have down there?
Our Hall of Fame producer.
Something tells me we probably had about 5 or 6 more angles on that.
Stojanovic boots it through. It's the biggest point output for Miami this season as they put 45 up on the board.
But you know, here we go. Here's another one. What's this? Is this 5? This might be number 5 on.
Well, this might be the best one. Simeon being taken on there by
look at that.
Saxon.
Hey, that's good looking stuff.
Simeon, the only one who could have stopped that, and Saxon hammered into him.
Well, we haven't seen this one yet either.
Yeah.
All right. You got another one? Come on, Kenny and Craig. Come on. You got more?
You got
There's
another one down there?
That's another one. Now, I dare you to come up with one more. I dare you to come up with one more.
Yep.
Oh, well, that is a slam dunk on your part.
Accounting just called. They want to know how many tape machines we have down there.
Obviously a bunch. I know you got one more down there. You're holding out on me.
From the blimp.
The blimp.
I think it's just fascinating that the night after the crew party that they could find all those.
Come on, guys. Your integrity. There's another one there. We just got the half line on the left. Folks at home, if you don't know what it looks like down on our truck, Craig Janoff, our director, and Kenny Wolf, our producer, are sitting in front of a bank of monitors with whole bunches of cameras tied into tape machines, and they take their their pick, and that's kind of what the smorgasbord that sits in front of them every single play of the game.
There they are. They're watching the Letterman show.
How about those boys with the tape truck?
Wrong network.
45-28 as Stoyanovic's pick is taken by John Vaughn, who's at a workout and a half tonight. Well, as long as it's our only Miami, well, before we do that, the Wendy's 3 Tour Challenge coming your way Saturday, featuring stars of the PGA Senior Tour and the LPGA Tour, and Norman and Nicholas and Nancy Lopez up there. And then from Jamaica, the Johnny Walker World Championship coverage this Saturday and Sunday right here on ABC.
Now, is that Johnny Walker right there?
Well, do they play Scotch foursomes down there?
No, I think that's
Freddie Couples.
Okay. From the 32-yard line. Bono throws, and that's incomplete, intended for J.J. Burton.
Did you see where about 6 weeks ago Fred Couples had a hole-in-one in that one tournament, and that's his first hole-in-one ever?
That was
Kapalua. That's right. It was on Kapalua.
Surprise.
Now, how about that? Now, every amateur golfer in the world who's never had a hole-in-one. I used to take solace in the fact that Fred Couples never had a hole-in-one, and now it's gone.
Well, now he's tied with Debbie Deirdre for a holes-in-one, right?
That's true.
Frank Gifford.
That's the worst part of it all when your wife has more holes in one than you do.
2nd and 10. The catch is made by J.J. Burton.
That's the price I pay. She's a better golfer than I.
I'll attest to that. 3rd and 2.
She's better than you, too.
Oh, yes. Marty Schottenheimer, 45 points allowed, and that's an ignominious statistic on his resume right now. 45 points allowed, most of his career during the regular season. 3rd and 2 at the 40. And Bono hitting the rookie Bennett. He is stopped at the 40. And it will be 4th down. Well, Mark Collins and the Kansas City defense.
Scratch your heads is right.
They'll fly home, and Marty's going to take a timeout here to conserve what he can on the clock with 2:28 remaining in regulation.
Coaches' lives cross so frequently in such strange ways. Tom Olivadotti was assistant coach under Marty Schottenheimer at Cleveland in 85 and 86. Secondary coach. Great respect for one another. And the pupil gets the better of this one tonight.
A lot of speculation here in South Florida. People wondering about the future of Don Shula and how long he's going to coach this team. He has a contract that runs through 1996, I believe, that he negotiated with new team owner Wayne Huizenga, and he has the option to go to the front office anytime he chooses to become director of operations, and all he'll say is, I won't evaluate whether or not I'll coach his team until a season is over, and it's kind of a year-to-year thing.
And that ends the discussion.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, he ends the discussion when he wants to, doesn't
Yes.
he?
Well, a lot of the speculation clearly is fueled by an area resident, not fueled by him, but fueled through the presence of Jimmy Johnson. The question mark surrounding Jimmy Johnson. The fact that a lot of fans would like to someday see Jimmy Johnson succeed Don Shula, whenever that day might be.
Won't we find out Sunday?
Well, I don't think so. 4th and 2. I have to laugh it away. I mean, Jimmy's going to make a big announcement. But if Jimmy says on Sunday, let me ask you a question. If Jimmy says on Sunday,
5-yard penalty, still 4th down,
that he's going to stay at Fox and remain in television next year, what's to preclude somebody coming in after the season with an offer that blows him away?
People in this business have been known to change their minds.
Oh, yes, they have.
Oh, no. So, it's, I don't think that it's etched in stone.
That was classic. 4th and 7.
Dave has a for instance.
At the 47. Oh, man.
Well, of course, if Jimmy Johnson says that he's going to stay in broadcasting, the first thing that everybody in Miami here is going to think that he's just going to give it one more year and wait for Don Shula to go upstairs. So, you know, the people who would like to see Jimmy Johnson succeed Don Shula here with the Dolphins are hoping that his announcement is, I'm not going to coach next year. Because face it, his success here with the University of Miami Hurricanes has not been forgotten by the people in Miami.
There are a couple of current coaches around the league that are hoping that Jimmy's announcement next week will be, I'm not going to coach next year.
Yeah. All of them.
2nd and 10 at the 47. And Bono flips it incomplete, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 45 to 28. There's a look at that hard-working, industrious, diligent tape truck we referred to earlier. Give him a hand. Somebody's got to do it. Okay. 154 remaining in regulation. We've churned a few more numbers of late. And the latest information now in terms of Kansas City with a loss is they go to 7-7, but they can get in to the playoffs by winning their last 2 because they will own a tiebreak advantage over the Raiders if they beat them in the final game of the season. And they could conceivably sneak into the number 6 playoff spot.
You got that, Dan?
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah. Repeat it. You got it.
That's why I never sat in the first row in class.
3rd and 10. Bono to Donnell Bennett. Crawls to the 46-yard line, and Brian Cox makes the tackle. It'll be 4th down and 3. Our executive producer is Jack O'Hara. And the Wolfman, the one and only Ken Wolf, producing tonight's game. Ray Janoff, our director. On 4th down and 4 as the Chiefs trying to keep the drive alive. And Lake Dawson makes the catch and is out of bounds at the 41. Our technical director, Joe Chavo. Once again, no knuckle jobs. Ben Harvey, our associate producer. Jaime Bravo is our AD, as those of us in the business like to call it. Bob Simon, our production manager. Dennis Zabo and Jim Licata, our tech operations manager. Fred King, our assistant to the producer emeritus.
The best.
And Brian Gordon. Steve Hurd, our unparalleled director of information. And the gang. Our entire gang here in Miami as the catch is made by J.J. Bird, who takes the hard hit but holds on to the football. Good Kelly producing halftime, our halftime crew, and to the gang up here,